Compass PD podcast, where we dive into evidence based practices that empower educators and leaders to make a lasting impact. I'm Dr. Stephanie Brenner. Today, I'm discussing a topic I'm very passionate about: how to use mid year universal screening data effectively. Whether you're focusing on whole group instruction, small group differentiation, targeted interventions, or planning professional development, this episode is packed with actionable insights. The purpose of this episode is for you to learn how to effectively use mid year universal screening data to improve instruction and support student growth across various instructional settings. Promote data-driven decision-making by highlighting the role of data in identifying class trends and informing instruction, grouping, and interventions. As well as encourage professional growth by offering strategies for utilizing data to guide coaching sessions and plan impactful professional development opportunities. Let's dive in. Mid-year screening data provides a treasure trove of information about the overall district, building, grade level, class, and individual student trends in Tier 1 instruction. By analyzing this data, administrators, leaders, and teachers can identify strengths as well as common gaps in skills that can assist in future planning. For example, if a portion of students are struggling with segmenting phonemes, breaking apart multisyllabic words, or determining the meaning of unknown vocabulary words, you can begin to ask questions why that might be, depending on the lens you are coming from. A district administrator or leader might wonder if the curriculum essential standards are being taught with enough frequency and intention, if the pacing of the curriculum is appropriate and able to be implemented as intended. A classroom teacher, on the other hand, can use the data to adjust the pace and focus of upcoming lessons. They might wonder if students need more time to master certain concepts than anticipated, if there is a need to revisit a prior skill believed to be mastered, or what gaps in learning seem to be the foundational concern. Adjustments, or simply awareness of the current reality, can help begin the dialogue necessary to create a plan for moving forward. The key is to let the data guide your decision making, ensuring your instruction meets the collective needs of the group you are focusing on. I highly encourage you to utilize the visuals universal screeners provide. Heat maps and bar graphs for current and historical data are available within most platforms with the simple click of a button. Normally, there are more than you will know what to do with, and it is overwhelming. Pick one or two reports that correspond to your current focus, priority, and/or essential standards. For example, at a district or building level, you might look at a report from a measure closely aligned with the state priority standards that shows historical cohort data to determine if students performed as expected compared to previous year's data, as well as what was previously projected for the current group. A classroom teacher, however, might look at a report from a measure closely aligned with the essential standard of the current or upcoming unit of instruction to determine which students have mastered the skill already. Student-friendly visuals are often available as well. Using these visuals with staff and students not only increases transparency, but also builds a culture of shared accountability for learning. Now, let's talk about small group instruction. Mid-year screening data is essential for grouping students by similar need and skill levels. For instance, your universal screening data might identify a group that's ready for advanced comprehension strategies, while another group is identified that needs explicit phonics instruction. Once groups are formed, use the data to tailor your instruction. It can help you determine where in the progression of learning the group of students is so you can maximize your planning and the time you have with students instead of giving more and more assessments. Pro tip: keep small group instruction dynamic. Screening data is a snapshot in time, so regroup students as their needs evolve. This ensures instruction stays relevant and impactful. Moving on to interventions. Universal screening data is a cornerstone for identifying students who need Tier 2 or Tier 3 support because these students often require targeted, intensive interventions to close specific skill gaps. Mid year universal screening data has the potential to help us determine if current interventions are working for students. At a district and or building level, the progress of students currently within interventions can help you determine if the right resources, meaning time, people, programs, materials, etc., are available and accessible. Additionally, a historical consideration of student participation in interventions can help identify curriculum and instructional strengths and weaknesses. For teachers, analyzing the universal screening data of students in intervention helps determine if the appropriate intervention groups are being provided and accessed by the correct students. Utilizing progress monitoring data in this process is a game changer. Teachers might wonder if there are too many students in a group to provide intense intervention, if a student is ready to move to a higher skill group, or if more or less groups on a particular skill are needed. Universal screening data can even help teachers and teams pinpoint the exact skills to focus on in intervention, whether it's decoding, fluency, comprehension, or something else. Finally, let's talk about coaching and professional development. Universal screening data isn't just for teachers, it's a valuable tool for instructional coaches and leaders too. Coaches can use data trends to plan targeted PD sessions for the district, building, or grade level. For example, if data shows that multiple grade levels across the district struggle with phonics, consider a professional learning session on best practices for phonics instruction for the entire district. This PD could occur this year, or it might need to be considered as a focus for the upcoming school year. Using mid year universal screening data in this way helps districts make long term and systematic professional development plans and cycles, not to mention assist in creating budgets. While administering universal screeners, if you notice a pattern of errors students are making, that is potentially an instructional implication that can be addressed quickly or the focus of future PD. For example, predictably, students in kindergarten and first grade may not do well on phoneme segmentation because they are not individually isolating the phonemes. Students might respond full it instead of full I. Or students in fourth and fifth grade tend to increase their words per minute read. However, their accuracy level fell. Share these observations with teachers during whole group PD or PLCs, as well as what most likely causes the error, why it's important, beyond scoring better, and ways teachers can address it in their classroom tomorrow. In the same ways, you can also use mid-year universal screening data during coaching cycles to guide conversations with teachers. Focus on interpreting the data, planning instruction for whole group, small group, and interventions, and reflecting on student outcomes. Today, we explored practical ways to use mid-year universal screening data for whole group instruction, small groups, interventions, and professional development. Remember, the goal is to use mid-year universal screening data as a tool to support student growth and to empower educators. If you found today's episode helpful, Please share it with your colleagues and subscribe for more actionable tips and strategies in the future. Next week, the Compass PD podcast will dive into the importance of using data from a curriculum lens. You don't want to miss it.